What's going on, guys? Just gotta turn down the music. Tonight is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to break it down with TJ. TJ, how are you doing today?
Hi, Matt. I'm great. How are you, son?
Doing fantastic. Guys, last night we crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. We recommended a late night pivot to whatever team decided to come out with injury news. Apparently it was Anthony Davis, and guys, we took full advantage. I mean, I cannot talk about last night enough. I mean, the only thing that held me back from a GPP takedown was because Beal got pulled in the last 3 minutes. I was 5 points away from first place, and the drop-off was like $300. So I still made a decent amount of money, but did not take it down. I was definitely angry at the rotation of the Wizards. But guys, I hope everybody took the cash lineup last night. As you know, we posted to the website, and I also post my favorite GPP plays on my Patreon page. Also, guys, I'm sure you all are aware of the announcement. Guys, I pulled my first pack earlier today. I will post a video at 10 o'clock. I have it scheduled already. I have everything rolled out. That's what I've been working on to help give back to you guys, because guess what? We are approaching 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for your support, because we're going to make our next goal. I don't know what we're going to make it yet, TJ, but we're going to have to think about that, because we're going to set our goals very high going forward. And we're going to be shipping out a new card. I told TJ what it was. Pretty good first pull for a first pack. Yeah, so definitely intrigued on that. And it's kind of funny because we've been targeting him a lot in DFS recently. So definitely am excited about that. But let's go ahead. I'll stop my rambling. Let's go ahead and jump right into the slate. It is a crazy one. 7 games. TJ, we can really start anywhere. So I'm going to let you go ahead and just dictate where we go, because I really have no idea.
Why don't you pick?
Okay. Well, here's
fix my head.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I see the chat talking about the Cavs. They're spamming the Cavs in the chat. So let's go ahead and go to the Cavs, because I see a lot of Cleveland questions, and for good reason. I mean, they are on a 9-man rotation, and some of these guys that I haven't even heard of. So Matt Mooney is in.
Heard of Dean Wade?
Dean Wade, yeah, I thought it said Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade's adopted cousin?
Yeah, so a lot of these guys are irrelevant as far as the rotation goes, but we can start there, because obviously with Drummond being rolled out and Tristan Thompson trying to get their whole Garland, McKinney, yep, pretty much everybody that's pretty relevant on that team except for Kevin Love. I guess you can throw Larry Nance into that mix, but a lot of usage to go around, and because they are so bad, I mean, there's just a lot of people that need to step it up tonight. I mean, they just need to, or they're going to get absolutely blown out by Utah. It's only a 10-point spread, but according to our sheet, Kevin Porter does pop the most here, 6.5 point per dollar on our sheet. And then Zizic at 20 minutes is a little bit scary just because he is playing at 20 minutes, but he's very productive. Also a 6.3 on our sheet. Larry Nance, chalk of all chalk. I mean, he's going to be very high owned, but he doesn't really bode well on our sheet. I'm not saying he's bad chalk, but I'm saying maybe GPP's might be an interesting take on him. 5.2, averages 0.87 fantasy points per minute, 6.3 point per dollar value on our sheet. Kevin Love, I really do like with a 7K price tag, 6.1 point per dollar value on our sheet. All these guys are pretty decent value. TJ, have you gotten a chance to really look at this Cavs roster?
Yeah. I have. Who did you take off when you ran the numbers for Cleveland?
Probably not enough. I took off the heavy hitters.
You take off TT?
Yes.
And you took off Garland.
Now, I didn't touch Roto's output on Zizic and Nance because they were higher than what we had.
Because I have Nance at a 6.9.
Okay. All right, well, what do you have for fantasy points per minute?
1.03. Okay.
So, yeah, I think you took off somebody else that I probably didn't take off, but no.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So right now, I really like Nance. I really like Kevin Love. Nance actually gets a 3.6% usage bump, 1.03 fantasy points per minute. I'm showing pretty decently high ownership. Obviously, I don't like the spot against Utah. They are at home. They're 10-point dogs. They have a 106 team total over-under. I mean, you talked about the rotation and the guys that they have available. I mean, their starting 5 should all play 30-plus minutes. So That's definitely something I'm intrigued by, and I know guys are saying, oh, what about a blowout? And yeah, that's a possibility, but I don't expect a guy like Matt Mooney or Dean Wade both to play over 15 minutes. There's a lot of minutes to go around. There's a lot of usage to go around. So personally, I really like Larry Nance at 5,200. I think he's going to be a pretty obvious cash play for us tonight. My next pick would probably be Kevin Love. I mean, at 7K, I think he's still priced way too low. I gave him out as a GPP play against Indiana along with Drummond, and they both played really well. I mean, the price tags are just crazy low. And I mean, obviously now with the injuries, the price tag of 7K just doesn't make too much sense. So I definitely like Kevin Love. He's a 6'3" on our sheet. He gets a 2.3% usage bump, averages 1.26 fantasy points per minute. Yeah. Zizic, Matt, like you talked about, I mean, at the bare minimum of 3K, getting 20 minutes, I definitely really, I mean, I
think that's pretty conservative too. I think 20 minutes is conservative.
So those sample sizes of Nance and Kevin Love were 149 and 134 minutes. So, I mean, I like the sample size. Zizic's was only 31 minutes. Yeah. But, I mean, in that time, he gets a 5% usage bump, 1.17 fantasy points per minute. He's always been a very high fantasy point per minute player. And at 3K, I mean, I'm definitely going to take a chance with him in GPPs. Probably not for cash. I think there's value everywhere else, so I don't think you need to roster Zizic in cash. But GPPs for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
I'm never done. I was just gonna say, yeah, Kevin Porter. I mean, starting, he'll probably see the most minutes. Him and Sexton, 4,900. I don't hate him, but more of a GPP play, and then Sexton GPP play for me. I like Kevin Love and I like Nance.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with your GPP plays. I mean, Zizic's showing at 12%, which is going to be very low. A lot of value, obviously, on this slate, and we're going to be targeting some value later on these other teams. But Zizic definitely makes for a good play. And whenever I take Zizic, I mean, I just feel like it's always in a good spot around 20 minutes, but it's always, that's his floor for minutes. You know, if you look at this rotation, like you said, with Kevin Love, Nance, and then Zizic, I think those are the only big guys that we're really looking at. So imagine if one of these guys gets in foul trouble. Huge ceiling for Zizic. And against Utah, I could see it definitely happening. The only scary thing, obviously, is Utah. But again, tight rotation. I love targeting teams with these very, very tight rotations. So yeah, I mean, all these guys make for great GPP plays in general. Even the chalk guys with Kevin Love only showing 24% in tournaments. But yeah, I completely agree with you with the GPP plays. I do like Porter Jr. for GPPs as well. 4.9, playing 34 minutes. Is definitely going to be a guy I'm going to target in GPPs. Let's go to my Spurs. Because my Spurs were chalk at the beginning of the slate. I feel like as we talk about more teams, we're going to get off these guys. So with the Spurs, I'm only going to pull up Popcorn Machine because of this one guy. The guy who came in for Jacob Hurtle was Rudy Gay. So, of course, we're going to get popped tonight. It's going to happen. There's going to be unexpected minutes. But if we had to go somewhere safe, I think Rudy Gay is going to be the safest option. His direct sub should get 28 minutes. He should. Okay, I'm going to say should whenever I talk about the Spurs going forward because you never know. But I think if I'm going to target anybody from this game, it's going to be Rudy Gay and it's going to be DeMar DeRozan, which happened to show the chalkiest on the slate or on the team. Patty Mills makes for a great GPP option. Obviously, 22 minutes. Brent Forbes, 24. Obviously, these guys are bottom-of-the-barrel price tags. I'm not looking elsewhere as far as cash outside of Rudy Gay and DeMar DeRozan. Trey Lyles makes for another decent GPP option. But obviously, when you take off Aldridge and Hurtle, it really starts to get confusing on where these minutes are going to go. But I think if I had to recommend one player, it's going to be Rudy Gay and it's going to be DeMar DeRozan. TJ, who are you taking from these Spurs if you're going to target anybody from cash?
Yeah, for cash, as long as Rudy Gay is projected at 28 minutes, and as long as he sees 25, I definitely think he's cash viable at 4,300. Gets a 4.4% usage bump with Hurtle and Aldridge off the court, 1.31 fantasy points per minute, and a pretty healthy sample size too. So I definitely like Gay tonight for cash. My next stop would probably be DeRozan. I think he's going to carry just as much ownership as Rudy Gay at 7,300. So I definitely don't hate him as a last piece in cash. DeJounte Murray actually at 5,500 gets a 2% usage bump, 1.09 fantasy points per minute. The one thing with him, obviously, has just always been his minutes. I mean, Trey Lyles right now projected at 31 minutes. Yeah. They're going to need size against Indiana, so I could see him actually logging those minutes. Obviously, they got to go up against Sabonis, and they got to go up against Miles Turner, even Warren. So, like, besides Trey Lyles, like, what other bigs do they have? Like Ebunks or whatever his name is, Drew Ebunks. I don't know how to even pronounce him. So, like, if he plays 20 minutes, I can see Trey Lyles at least having a minimum of 28 minutes that he'll be playing. So, I don't hate him as a last piece in cash, but I think he'd be more of a GPP play for me. But like I said, like, they're going to need the size against Indiana. So, it just makes me think, like, besides Trey Lyles and Eubanks or Ebanks or whatever you want to call him, Drew, like, who else is going to play center minutes for them? You know, it's just I mean, can they run with Gay at the 5? Probably not against Sabonis and Warren. So I mean Sabonis and Turner. So that's why I do like Lyles, just because I think they're going to need his size tonight. So yeah, but I mean, I think Gay and DeRozan are your safe plays, with Gay being my 1, DeRozan being 2. But then yeah, I definitely like Lyles as a GPP play, maybe a last spot in cash, and then I don't hate DeJounte Murray either if the minutes are going to be there. And then Bryn Forbes, like you said, if he's going to start and play 24 minutes at 3K, I'm definitely going to take chances with him.
It's always who's going to start for this.
Terrible, but
yeah, I mean, he just shoots the ball. It's always about who is going to start for the Spurs. That's always the safest bet, and it's still not even that safe. So the good thing with the Spurs is all of these guys are priced very, very low, so very GPP viable. But again, like you said, like the guys we know that are going to get minutes are DeRozan, and even maybe with Rudy Gay, 28 minutes. So I think those are going to be your cash locks. If you guys are feeling risky, target this team for GPPs. Again, these guys are coming in at very, very low ownership, 6%, 5%, 2%, 2%, 1%, virtually unowned with Lonnie Walker. Again, if he starts, could end up paying off for you. So I hate to diss on my Spurs like that, but guys, I mean, it's getting frustrating for DFS. It just is. Let's go over to Dallas, because Porzingis got ruled out, and obviously with Porzingis, a huge usage monster, and I think that opens up some opportunity, and honestly, some surprising ownership is coming from this team, TJ. Doncic, obviously averaging over 1.8 fantasy points per minute. The man going against Chicago, 10.3. I think he is going to be my most obvious pay-up option on the slate. At 10.3, I really don't see you going anywhere else. I really don't. I mean, as far as a pay up option, at least, if you're going to go mid tier and you're going to fade Doncic, sure, fine, go for it. But for pay up, Doncic is the most obvious spot on the most obvious spot on the slate, so showing a 6.3 point per dollar value on our sheet here. Kleber is next in line, 29 minutes, averages over or just under a fantasy point per minute here, 6.3, 4.4, is showing in a good matchup, obviously against Chicago, struggling against bigs. He's showing at 8% ownership right now. So I don't know if that's going to move at all, but 8%, that makes him a better GPP play than it is cash, but I wouldn't mind playing him in cash, at least that's my opinion. I think he's a very, very good GPP option right now. 4.4K, I guess because people are used to him being in the 3 low 4K range. I don't know what that is for, but another great option, Finney Smith, showing a 5.9, but I think everybody else kind of falls by the wayside until we hear that Seth Curry news. TJ, what's your take on Dallas?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like the Seth Curry news is still pretty significant. But yeah, obviously with Porzingis out, I definitely love Luka as a spend up tonight in cash at 10.3. Gets a 5% usage bump, 1.84 fantasy points per minute, rates out to a 6.6 on our sheet. So I'm locking in Luka. I'm not thinking twice about it, especially with Porzingis out. Dallas only 6.5 point favorites on the road against Chicago. I feel like that was before Levine getting ruled out. So if we were to go ahead and look at that spread now, which I can do, I am seeing Dallas at 6.5 point favorite still. Okay. So yeah, and everybody's hammering that. So I guess, I mean, even if Seth's out too, I feel like that just makes it even more of a level playing field, one less guy for Dallas. So I definitely like Luka as a lock-in for cash right now. And you know, thinking about where to go next, I feel like is really dependent on Seth Curry. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to wait before I give any more advice in terms of Dallas. I do like Kleber, though. Gets a 2.3% usage bump, 0.96 fantasy points per minute. Should start at the 5. Wendell Carter is back for Chicago. I'm pretty sure he is going to be monitoring.
Regardless, I mean, he's still not the greatest, but yeah. Yeah,
he played 18 minutes against the Knicks. I feel like he'd probably play, 22 to 24 tonight, depending on, game script. So, yeah, I definitely think Luka's a cash lock, and then we'll wait on Seth Curry. Hopefully we can get that news while we're streaming. They don't tip off till 8, unfortunately. But, if Seth starts, I don't hate him for GPPs at 61. But, yeah, I think you take Luka for cash from Dallas, and then I think you wait on that Seth news.
Sure, as far as your GPP strategy, it could end up looking like last night. I mean, if none of these guys are ruled out before lock, these guys will all be very low owned, which you could take advantage of if Seth Curry is ruled out. I'm not saying stack the late games like last night, but I'm saying if you want to hold off on a couple of GPPs, for sure. I mean, Seth Curry could virtually go unowned if he does play. So.
Right.
All right, let's move right over to Chicago since we're already in that game, and I'm going to follow the script that you like, TJ. So with Chicago, we know that Levine is ruled out, and it's it's kind of a confusing picture because right now they're showing very low minutes in these value guys, which makes it frustrating because I would be all over guys like Shaq Harrison and Valentine if they were getting minutes, but 20 and 19 minutes. I think Kobe White is going to be the chalkiest option, not only because of his recent production, but just because he does get a nice boost here with LaVine off the court. 5.8K. Now, the only thing that scares me is Dallas is their defense. Obviously, with Porzingis, it's going to change up things just a little bit, but not too much. I mean, they're still a good defensive team. Chicago showing a 107.25 over-under. But outside of Kobe White, I'm really curious, and as far as cash, are you really looking at anybody else from the Bulls?
If I were to be, it would probably be Thad Young. The Bulls are just getting so many guys back now that it's tough to actually see like what their rotation will look like in minutes. Like Otto Porter's back tonight; he'll be on a minute restriction. We got Denzel Valentine back. It's his second game playing. He played 10 minutes against the Knicks. I mentioned Wendell Carter played 18 minutes against the Knicks as well. So a lot of guys that are just getting healthy again for the Bulls. So in terms of cash, I think it's safe to just take Kobe White and run. I don't hate Thad Young as like a last piece, but I probably won't get there. For GPPs, I definitely don't hate him. Gets a 4.5% usage bump with LaVine and others off the court, 1.04 fantasy points per minute. But Kobe White gets a 6.2% usage bump, 1.01 fantasy points per minute. Should play, low to mid 30s. So I definitely like Kobe White for cash. And like I said, Thad Young, maybe Satoransky too for GPPs, but I don't think for cash. My second piece would definitely be Thad Young or Satoransky. But I think Kobe White's the safe play. And like I said, with all these guys coming back, we're just not sure what the minutes are going to look like and who's going to do what in terms of minutes. So I think it's safe to just take Kobe White and go.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with LaVine being such a high usage guy and then being ruled out, you would think that a lot more opportunity would open up for these guys. But everybody's back. I mean, they're showing Valentine, Harrison, such low minutes, and these guys pop for us, at least on their sheet, but they're playing such low minutes, it's not worth it, at least for cash. GPPs, by all means, guys, if you want to deploy some of these Chicago Bulls, go for it. But yeah, I think Kobe White's your only legit option as far as cash, and I'm not really going to target these guys. I think there's a lot more options on the slate. We can move to the massive over-under in this game of Atlanta-Memphis if you want to do that.
Yeah, speaking of that, I have to do with Redishov.
Yeah, the one thing I was paying attention to was Jeff Teague, and his minutes keep going up and down. So right now they're at 22, so I have to kind of readjust right now too. So I'll go ahead and just start talking about Memphis while you do Atlanta. Does that sound like a good idea?
It looks like we just got news that Bruno Fernando will start if Reddish is out, so I'm assuming they'll go Bruno at the 5 and Collins at the 4 with Herter, Hunter, and Trae Young.
Okay. All right, so guys, I just want to take a brief break for a second and encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel because if you look at our subscriber count, it's at 990. Okay, we are 10 away from the big 1,000. Obviously, that's been our goal for ever since we started, and I thank you guys for. I know there's a couple people who have been here since day one, and I really do appreciate it. I mean, we've been growing, at such a high rate recently, and we really appreciate all the support. So if you haven't already, if you're watching this stream, guys, guess what? We're the next big thing. At least we hope so. All right, so please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so we can be your main place for all of our data analytics and your lineup construction. So let's go ahead and dive right into Memphis because Memphis does have a lot of chalk and for good reason. I mean, they're at 119, obviously with a lot of injuries. Valanciunas is showing 35%. I don't know if that's the highest on the slate, but it's pretty close. There's two really chalky options at the center position tonight, and that's Vucevic and Valanciunas. All right, so those guys are going to be the most chalkiest on the slate. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of combos with Valanciunas and Vucevic at utility or vice versa, just because they own so much percentage, at least in chalk. So Valanciunas obviously is the best person on this team. 6 point is just undervalued, 29 minutes. I mean, he rates well on the sheet. He's highly owned. I think he's going to be a very good cash play. Going down the line here, Melton, 13%, 4.4K, 25 minutes. Also a very good option. Dylan Brooks has been picking it up. I was waiting for that because Dylan Brooks is around that 6K. I just see the chat being spammed. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. All right, now you guys are just talking. Dylan Brooks, 33 minutes. Obviously not a bad play at all. Carrying 20% ownership in tournaments. I think he's going to be more of a cash play too. I do like him. And then going down the line here, these other guys make for good GPP options. Obviously, Tyus Jones at 22 minutes. We know what he can do. Makes for a decent GPP option at 10%. Probably the lowest owned guy here on this team. So I do like him for GPP. And then Kyle Anderson also showing at 8%. Could end up being a very good GPP option for sure. So I think as far as GPP, the only other guys you're going to look at is John Morant. For cash, Valanciunas and Brooks are going to be your highest owned options on this team. Do you want to talk about these guys at all, TJ, or do you want to just move on to Atlanta?
No, I do. If you can just stall for like 12 more seconds.
Stalling.
Atlanta's trash.
What's going on, guys? Sadaransky or Murray? I'll answer a question while I wait. Sadaransky, I'm assuming DeJounte Murray. I will say... Ooh, that's tough. I'll say Murray. Just because I'm a Spurs. No, I'll say Murray because I think he's a more obvious play.
You want to know my pick?
You want to say Sadaransky?
Yeah, I would say Sadaransky.
I think Murray's going to be lower owned. That's all.
Okay, so Memphis. I think Val's a lock. Yeah. I mean, we talk about it every time. Guys you want to target are centers you want to target playing opposing teams. At the top of the list is Atlanta. Val at 6,800 should see about 30 minutes. It's a very high over/under. Gets a 1.4 usage bump, with Jaren Jackson and Brandon Clark off the court. He's a 1.4 fantasy point per minute. Gets a 1.4% usage bump. Sorry, that's a lot of ones and fours. Rates out to a 6-1 on our sheet, so I definitely like Val. I think he's in a great spot against Atlanta, so definitely somebody I want to target. My next play would probably be John Morant. But I also do like Dylan Brooks. Those are the three guys that I'm looking to target tonight. I think Val is safe for cash. I think Ja and Dylan Brooks are more GPP plays. I think Dylan Brooks will be higher owned than Ja Morant. I would rather have Ja Morant, but in terms of cash, I'd save the 1,900 and get Dylan Brooks. So yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are right now. I don't really have any interest in any of those value guys like Zhang, Jackson, Melton. I do kind of like Kyle Anderson at 4,400 as a GPP play. But yeah, it's looking like Val for cash. I think I like Ja better, but I think Brooks is the safer play or the safer option from Memphis as a cash play. But yeah, Val's a lock for me, and that's Memphis. Also, Anthony Tolliver just got signed to Memphis, and he is actually available to make his debut tonight. So
okay, good to know.
That might take away maybe a couple minutes from
he's on the player pool.
A guy like Val. Maybe take away minutes from a guy like Kyle Anderson.
I will say this about this game. If you guys are playing the most obvious chalk on the slate and you don't have anybody to fill up your lineup, guess what? Target this game because it's going to be a high over-under. It should be, at least. So your safe plays, your highest owned guys are going to be in this game regardless of who they are. So, again, if you're looking for like a last-ditch kind of filler, you can target guys in this game for sure. I think these are going to be your safest bets. All right, moving over to Atlanta. Did you get a second to crunch those numbers?
I did, yeah. No one really pops, to be honest with you, man. So
I was about to say that because Roto's projections are inflated a lot just because of the high over under, and none of them really outmatched Roto's projections. So I'm just gonna go off of Roto, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a safe thing to do. I honestly started to enter in the numbers, and I figured might as well just go off for Roto. Yeah, because like you said, I mean, when you do it out on the sheet, no one really even is close to the numbers that Roto has projected. So I think they did actually adjust to the over-under, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, those top four guys for Atlanta, obviously, all projected currently at 35-plus minutes. It's a very high over-under against Memphis. Should be a back-and-forth game. Most of these guys would just be GPP plays for me, assuming that Cam Reddish is out. He is doubtful. So... yeah, I think the five starters are GPP plays, and then Teague. I don't really have too much interest. I feel like Kevin Huerter at 37 minutes, I don't mind as a GPP play. Obviously, Trae Young at 10-4. I don't have any interest in these guys in cash. Like Bruno Fernando at 3-4. It's a good matchup against Memphis, but the minutes probably aren't going to be there. So, the high over-under at 240, it's just it kind of stinks that none of these guys are really popping for us to kind of make it more clear. Mm-hmm. So just GPP plays for me. I don't really have any interest in these guys in terms of cash. I wish I did, but I don't.
the percentage ownership is at such an awkward spot where it's not showing these guys as really good cash plays. It's showing Teague at 10%, Trae Young at 19%. So it's like, do I want to put more than 19% or do I want to back off and take a hard stance on him? Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of other plays, and a lot of our more obvious plays are going to come from these other games. But, I mean, I don't hate you for starting Trae Young. I won't hate you for starting John Collins, and they're all great plays in this high over-under. But, again, the percentage ownership, if I had to pick my favorite, it's obviously going to be the man Trae Young. Jeff Teague should get a nice run here. 3.3 should be pretty safe for value. And John Collins, obviously. You're going to take the high-usage guys that are benefiting the most in this high over-under.
Yeah, and I mean, if I can get Kevin Huerter at 2% ownership in a game, that's a 240 over/under, where Atlanta's the 6th fastest paced team and Memphis is the 7th. Like, I'll take that
for sure. Yeah. All right.
Also, it's basically, are you taking Trae Young or are you taking Luka? Like, you're taking Luka, so that's why Trae Young's ownership, I feel like, is down.
Now, if you get both of them in there.
Yeah, I'm sure you could, but like, I don't think it's a necessity. Might be a good GPP lineup though.
For sure. Yep. All right. We're getting a lot of Orlando questions, so I'm just going to move right on over there because Orlando is they're without Gordon, they're without I have to go to my list. Isaac and one other guy. Aminu, that's who it is.
Isaac, yep.
Yeah, so Gordon being the highest usage guy. It changed the picture, but only barely. You know, Aaron Gordon's only been a high usage guy as of recent. I mean, like, throughout the entire season, he hasn't really been that high of a usage player, so it really doesn't change that much on our sheet. So I will say that the guys that really benefit the most, and they just adjusted Gary Clark's minutes, which is kind of frustrating. So he's at 24 now. So that makes him a better play. I have to kind of look at that again.
He is he's only 4.8 on our sheet, to be honest with you. So
4.8, okay. So I mean, yeah, not a good fantasy point per minute player. 24 minutes. I mean, he's going to carry 9% ownership. Again, Orlando's in the pace-up spot against Portland. My favorite plays from this game, and I'll just say this, and it's not that exciting. It's going to be Vucevic, obviously, with being at 8.4 in a pace-up spot. I don't really know why his price went down so much against Portland. So I like him. I think Terrence Ross gets a nice little usage boost here. 5.4. He went off for 51 DK points the other night when I took him at 2%. He's showing at 4% now. I think he might get overlooked for GPPs. And then, I mean, even my boy Evan Fournier doesn't really pop that much. So if I had to take one player from this game, it's going to be Vucevic. I know that's boring. I know you guys are looking for sleepers right now. I think Vucevic is really the only guy that I'm really, really intrigued in from this game. TJ, do you like anybody from this game?
I do a lot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So with Gordon out, I feel like a lot of these guys do get a significant usage bump, especially some of those cheaper guys. Obviously, Vooch, like you said, is in a great spot against Portland now. Portland's defense over the last month since Dame's been out for what, 3 weeks?
Yes. Right
before the All-Star break. So 2 weeks technically, three weeks, approaching a month, pretty sure if my math's correct. I don't have it in front of me. So yeah, with Dame and all the injuries that they've had and getting rid of Bazemore, they're ranked second to last in defense over the last month. They're giving up, I think it was like 114 points a game. So I definitely like Orlando at home with Portland coming in. Vooch, like you said, most likely a cash lock for me now with Aaron Gordon being out. Gets a 4.5% usage bump, 1.31 fantasy points per minute. I like the matchup against Whiteside, so I expect them to bang down low. I definitely like Vooch at 8.4. I think that's too cheap with Gordon being out. You said Fournier. Yeah, he doesn't really rate out too well on our sheet, but at 5% ownership, I know you're going to be all over him for GPPs. Sure. I definitely like him. And Terrence Ross, if Terrence Ross shows 4% ownership, Terrence Ross gets a 3.7% usage bump, 1.04 fantasy points per minute, shows a 6.4 on our sheet, so I definitely like Terrence Ross. Fultz, 2.7% usage bump, 0.96 fantasy points per minute, 5.8 on our sheet. Definitely don't hate him for GPPs. James Ennis, Matt, 6.9 on our sheet currently.
Yeah, I did see that.
Sample size wasn't anything too crazy, but if he's starting getting 30 minutes at 3.9, he averages 0.89 fantasy points per minute in that smaller type sample size. 2% usage bump. I definitely don't hate him. I don't necessarily know what his ownership is going to look like currently, but
pretty low right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep my eye on him for sure. I definitely don't hate him either. And then even these guys like, Mo Bamba actually is a 1.2 fantasy point per minute with Gordon off the court. Not crazy high on him, but like Michael Carter-Williams, DJ Augustine, both 1 and 1.1 1.15 fantasy point per minute players, both very productive. Augustine actually gets a 5.6% usage bump. So at 21 minutes at 3.2, I'm going to be overweight on him in GPPs. He's actually going to be my GPP flyer tonight. If he's showing 1%, I'm going to be very overweight on him at 3.2. I definitely like him as my pump play. And yeah, Michael Carter-Williams, like I said, at 3.4, he gets a 2.6% usage bump, 1.15 fantasy points per minute. So yeah, I mean, these cheap guys, Orlando's a team that I'm going to be targeting pretty heavy tonight. The only guy I'm really not interested in is Gary Clark, and he's starting, which is frustrating.
Yeah, and even he could be a good play, though.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to carry, like, anything crazy ownership in terms of cash, so I don't feel like the need to go ahead and roster him. But for GPPs, I mean, he's starting. He should see mid 20 minutes. So like, I'd definitely take a stab with him. But I'd rather go Augustine. I think Augustine
does rate well. Yeah. Yeah, 21 minutes is what they're showing them at now. I want to take back my statement, guys. I don't dislike these guys. I just like I don't like these guys for cash. There's a lot of good GPP options for sure.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so like you said, I can go up and down the list again, but I'm not going to. But Terrence Ross, I mean, it just seems like he produces the best when he's low owned.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah,
it's just like when he's chalk, it just never happens. So Terrence Ross, definitely a good guy to target for GPPs. Like you said, gets a nice little usage boost. They're all in a great matchup, with the exception of
you were overweight on him against Minnesota when he dropped 50. So
I had 10% as opposed to 2, so I guess you can consider that overweight. But yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, that's still very good. you know?
Yeah, absolutely. For the guys just joining, I know you guys are joining from other streams because it's 6 o'clock and it's usually when the other guys end. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. If you could show the support even more by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, guys. We do this all the way up through lock, and we even answer your last-minute questions right before lock, which we've been doing recently. We probably will do that again tonight. At least I will. So, guys, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't already, please hit that subscription button. Do you want to talk about Portland now?
Hit it. Sure.
Okay. So, CJ McCollum. We really don't even have to talk about him at this point. He's obviously been doing very, very well without Lillard. This is going to be a slight pace down spot for Portland, but they have just been going up and down the court with pretty much every team that they've played so far. I mean, and CJ McCollum's playing 38 minutes every single game, pretty much. So I mean, how can you hate him at this point? At 1.23 fantasy points per minute, at least over the year, I do like him in this spot. I mean, 9.3, obviously showing 29% ownership, but it's just because he's been playing so much. I understand it. I think he is going to be more of a chalk cash play. I might end up playing a little bit over projection on percentage ownership for him. 29%. I really don't know what my stance is going to be. I'm going to have to sit back and kind of look at it right before the slate locks. But Gary Trent, Ariza, Anthony, Whiteside, all showing 5% or lower in their percentage ownership. I started Gary Trent the other night when he hit 30, or at least it was close to 30, I think. Any one of these guys could step it up. They have to without Lillard. Yeah. So it was against Indiana, 30 points. Again, they just have to put up a lot of shots to keep up with these guys. McCollum can't be the only guy doing everything, and one of these guys does step it up every single night alongside McCollum. I mean, just for GPPs at least. There's so much usage to go around without Lillard. McCollum, though, my favorite, and these other guys just GPP options. I guess is the same thing with Orlando with Vucevic and these other guys. But I do like Orlando a lot more. Portland, are you targeting anybody else other than McCollum?
I don't even know if I'm going to have McCollum tonight because... Yeah, so I feel like making Luka a priority is huge.
Yep.
Vooch is pretty big, and then, Valanciunas. So it will be tough to go up and get CJ too. And then, I mean, tonight's the night that you can do it. It's definitely going to be a stars and scrubs type night. But then again, I kind of want to fill up my roster with guys like Larry Nance, Kobe White. So I don't even know if it's going to be physically possible for me to roster CJ along with Luka and Vooch. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, if there's somebody I'm rostering, it's definitely going to be CJ. I mean, we've seen what he's done since Dame's been out. He's been on an unbelievable stretch. He's taken 24 plus shots in every game that he's been out, Dame. So I definitely like him. And it's tough to say, like you said, who's going to step up and who's going to be a sidekick. It's been Hassan Whiteside. Hassan's played very good in Dame's absence as well. Double machine. That's evident. He's gotten 45 plus Draftkings in every game that Dame's been out as well. So I feel like those would be the two guys to target. I feel like a lot of people will be off of Carmelo Anthony tonight because he let them down in a high ownership spot against Atlanta in an up-pace type situation. So I wouldn't hate, with Melo showing 2%, like being at 10-15% on Melo, just because it could be a nice little bounce back.
It's funny
situation.
that you say that because this is exactly what I'm looking at for my models right now.
Yeah, so I kind of like that narrative. Like, a lot of people off of him because he struggled so much in a spot that everybody was high on him. So why not go back to him? Yeah. But yeah, I think it's CJ. I think it's Whiteside. I'll take my chances with Melo. And besides that, I'm kind of like Gary Trent, Trevor Ariza. Like, yeah, one of them could play very well, but not anything I want to be crazy overweight on.
All right. We are working on covering the entire slate here with about 5 minutes left till 15, which is usually our Q&A session. But it looks like Oladipo just got ruled out for Indiana, at least according to our chat. It looks,
Wait, what?
Yeah, Indiana just posted on their Twitter because I just confirmed it that Oladipo's out, but I don't think Fantasy Labs tweeted it. But I mean, Oladipo doesn't do too much, but it's still worth a note to go ahead and compute them. So you want to go ahead and do that right now?
Yeah, because with no Lamb,
yeah,
like that could be big for a guy like Aaron Holiday if he gets thrusted into the starting lineup. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he just got ruled out. So good job, guys, staying ahead of it. Good job.
Wait, who tweeted that on the chat? Oh, let's go, Dennis James, my guy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, so that's definitely interesting. So yeah, what is Aaron Holiday's price? Or like, God, Brogdon now, man.
Yeah, it's a bonus 1.33 fantasy points per minute at 8.8 could be intriguing. Let's see what that looks like. We know that the Spurs don't have any big guys.
Yeah.
Turner.
Trying to think of who else we haven't talked about while you're doing that. We talked about Dallas. We're still waiting, Seth. Talked about Memphis. We didn't touch base on the Knicks. The Knicks stink. Yeah, I know. What's his name's out. Bullock. I like Randall as a GPP play, but
guess who's back in the picture tonight for Indiana?
Miles Turner.
Yeah, by a lot too.
That doesn't surprise me. All right, let me bring this up too.
So TJ Warren's projected at 35 minutes, so that's pretty cool.
I don't even think that's updated.
Really? I think it is.
They still have Aaron Holiday at 16 minutes.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could be. I mean, I could be wrong. I would just assume that.
No, yeah, Justin Holiday and Aaron Holiday's minutes usually go up.
Yeah, I would assume that Aaron Holiday starts. Where's Indiana on my sheet? Where are you, Indiana?
Brogdon gets a nice boost too.
Warren was pegged at 34, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slight pace-up spot for Indiana, so, I mean, I don't mind these guys. Let's take a look. So, I already did my values, TJ, so I'll just kind of talk about them while you compute, at least until we await these minutes. So, I'll tell you right now, first look, Miles Turner, another great option. I feel like he's just always a nice GPP option, just at that 5.2 price tag. I mean, he's certainly deserving of a 6K price tag. So, I mean, 5.2 against the Spurs, obviously we know they're struggling against bigs, and they're even more so tonight. I mean, 5.2, Miles Turner ends up being just as obvious of a play as Valanciunas and Vucevic. So I like Miles Turner. Again, we have to wait for his ownership to kind of shake up here, showing at 10%. Could end up being a great GPP option. Brogdon also pops decently, 5.7. Now, I'm not going to really recommend any of these other guys as must-starts other than Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner does pop the most, at least with the current minutes. TJ McConnell, always intriguing here at 18 minutes, but not as much as these other value plays on these other teams. They just updated minutes, as I said that. Yeah, Aaron Holiday and Justin Holiday, so let me get back to work, guys. Sorry about that.
What did they put Aaron Holiday at? 29?
Aaron Holiday is 29, and Justin Holiday is 26. 29.
28. You gave me too much credit. You know I'm trash. What did they put McConnell at 3K, man, in this situation? Like, that's another
19,
guy.
19, they moved him up a minute.
Yeah. But still, like, we know how.
Yeah, and for you guys just joining the stream, we don't just ramble on about our favorite plays. I give you our favorite plays at the very end, and TJ gives us cash lock, so stay tuned. We were not just rambling off random players and saying they're going to be good and bad. We take hard stances. I saw somebody put in the chat earlier, we do take very hard stances on players. We're going to tell you if we're going to start them, if we're going to bench them, if we're overweight on people, if we're underweight on people. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Okay? We talked about a lot of people so far, and we're going to keep talking about them and our favorite plays to recap at the end of the stream here.
Brogdon 1.2 fantasy points per minute, man.
Aaron Holiday's just meh. Justin Holiday is probably just meh as well.
Yeah, he's always just meh. He is a meh. He's a walking meh. Is that? Oh God, I thought that was.
He's a walking meh.
He's a walking meh. He's just nah.
He's just there.
It's pretty crazy that there's 3 brothers in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's just wild. Like imagine just.
Real quick, do you know what I was thinking about the other day?
What do you have Aaron Holiday at?
0.83 fantasy points per minute.
So I'm showing a 6.15.
Oh yeah. They just updated that. I was taking Rotos because Aaron Holiday's in the pace up spot, so it's actually showing higher in Roto now. So
really,
yeah.
Look, TJ is he's a 6'4".
Real quick.
Oh, Jakar just got added. Nice, that's our guy.
It's 5 minutes though.
No, we've actually rostered Jakar Sampson and
he's actually done well for us.
2 cash lineups. There was one lineup where he had value in the first quarter. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He didn't do anything the rest of the game. I think he didn't even finish on fire, but he had value the first quarter. It was amazing.
Can I tell you what I was thinking about, or are you just going to keep cutting me off?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I was thinking about this the other day. I think this is
Jakar
crazy.
okay,
all right. You did that on purpose. LeBron James's kid is about to go into the NBA, at least in the next 3-4 years. He's going to be playing against his son.
He's going to be playing with his son. If you don't think that they're going to rig it so that the Lakers get
no, I was thinking about that too, but that is insane. Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
It has?
Yeah.
At least in NBA.
Wasn't it, oh my God, this is so
I don't know.
weird.
I don't want to take you off track. I was just saying that was crazy to think about. I was thinking about the other day.
I can't remember.
You're getting sidetracked.
Yeah.
We have about 15 minutes left, and then we have to go do our thing and then come back. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to do that for you guys again. I will get off stream for about 15 minutes, do all my GPP lineups, and then freak out a little bit on stream, and then come right back and answer all your questions. All right, so I believe TJ will, as long as he gets his cash lineup out. But again, that's the most frustrating part, is going through all of our favorite cash plays and deciding what the lineup should be, because that's the one lineup you guys depend on the most. Let's go ahead. I'll do this right now since you guys are waiting. I'll give a rough overview of the slate now since I have updated information on the Pacers. We'll go off current percentage ownership now. Yeah, it's been updated a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Bear with me, guys.
What are you doing?
Just giving a rough overview of the. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
So you're giving a rough overview of what? In general,
the entire slate, yeah.
Okay. I can give some cash locks right now that I'm high on. For me, currently, it's going to be Luka. It's going to be Vooch. I really like Larry Nance. I really like Valanciunas. I really like Rudy Gay. I like Kobe White. I mean, those are guys that I want to try and get in my lineup. I mean, that's pretty evident. I feel like there's a ton of value tonight, so you can go like DeMar DeRozan. You could, we didn't touch base on Houston and the Knicks. I definitely like Julius Randle against the centerless Rockets. I think that's a great spot for him against.
We didn't mention him.
So Zach LaVine is officially ruled out. I don't hate Dylan Brooks in that high over-under against Atlanta. I don't hate Kevin Porter just because I feel like he's going to play upwards of like 40-ish minutes. I touched base on Kevin Love. Unfortunately, he got bested now after I did my numbers, and I really like Vooch a little bit more. I'd rather pay up, but I definitely like Kevin Love, but more of a GPP play now. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm thinking currently. And Terrence Ross, like Matt touched base on, he's not going to carry any ownership.
Yeah.
Really, not too much of a cash play, but for GPPs, like yeah, sign me up.
So yeah, did you mention Rudy Gay?
Yeah, Rudy Gay is a lot for me.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear his name, but yeah, Rudy Gay is going to be my favorite play of the slate. I think Rudy Gay showing at 26% ownership is still bizarre. I think he should carry as high ownership as Jacob Hurtle was.
Denzel Valentine's starting.
Okay, we'll see how that adjusts in minutes. It probably shouldn't change too much though.
Yeah, I know, but
But yeah, I think Rudy Gay is deserving of like closer to 50% ownership. At least he should be. At least projected at 28 minutes. I think Rudy Gay is my most obviously. I'm gonna lock him in for not lock, but I'm gonna be overweight on him for GPPs. Valanciunas you already talked about. Kevin Porter is another great GPP option. Again, a lot of these Cavs are. I think Kevin Porter is gonna top my list as a GPP play. Doncic obviously only showing at 23% in tournaments. Is that crazy? That is insane. I think 23% is way too low for Doncic. Obviously, without Porzingis, we know what he can do. He's been closer to 12. I think he's even hit 12.5 at one point. So Doncic at 23% ownership in tournaments. I think that's a very good GPP option. I said it already. Miles Turner is going to be in another great spot. His ownership should go up from about 10.44%. And then Kleber's still showing very low owned. I like these Dallas Mavericks. Again, if you guys want to take that late swap strategy, maybe holding off on the injury news for Dallas. And then showing here, Brogdon, also a nice play. So just to break down some of my favorite GPP options, Rudy Gay, Kevin Porter, Doncic is still showing very low owned, at least lower owned than he should be. Miles Turner, Kleber, and then Brogdon are going to show the highest leverage that I have against the field right now. Again, I'm going right past the cash plays. Like obviously Vucevic I'm going to be very high on, and people like Larry Nance very high on. But those are my favorite GPP options if you guys want to take a stab at a couple of those guys.
And then, again, my cash locks currently are going to be Val and Vooch. I like them at your center and util. I definitely like Kobe White. I definitely like Nance. I also like Luka. I also like Rudy Gay. I think those are 6 guys that you can definitely build around. There's definitely value to go low. Get one of those cheaper guys, and then you can even get somebody else in the mid-tier. So that's kind of my thought process tonight on constructing lineups. Yeah, I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah, I think we gave a nice overview. And again, I keep scrolling down here. Terrence Ross, I'm showing 20% ownership for me. 4%.
He's at 20%.
No, 4% for the field. So again, I'm overweight on him. That probably will change just a little bit, but again, I'm going to be overweight on Terrence Ross for sure. Giannis, we haven't even mentioned Giannis, but he's still there. He's still a basketball player. He's showing at 15% ownership. So
this is a game that I want to be overweight on Giannis. Like obviously, it's a very tough. Yeah. I mean, no, just Giannis in general, because this is a game. This is going to be a competitive game going to Miami. It's obviously a tough matchup. Miami plays great defense. He'll be going up against guys like Bam, Kelly Olynyk. I mean, Kelly Olynyk's not great at defense, but Bam himself. Derek Jones, too. I mean, I'm sure he'll start to try and mitigate some of Giannis's antics, but like this could draw out to be a competitive game. So this could be a spot where instead of Giannis playing in a blowout, only getting 28 to 30 minutes, plays 35 minutes tonight, 36 maybe. So that's kind of my thought process. So if Giannis is showing at 15%, I'm personally going to be highly overweight on him just because, like I said, very tough matchup going to Miami. But this is a game that Giannis could actually log a significant amount of minutes, so I'm going to take my chance on that.
And another good option that we haven't even mentioned is my boy James Harden. Like, James Harden always is under-owned, and he's still there. He's still a basketball player. I don't understand why at 120 he's still only showing around 15% owned.
Is Westbrook better than him?
Okay, well...
Westbrook has just absolutely dominated this last month.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. But yeah, well, either one of them then. If you want to take a stab at Westbrook too, he's the same price tag almost, so... I mean, both those players are showing very low owned. So, but we still think that Doncic is by far the best pay-up option. I'm not going to steer you away from Doncic. I'm not saying that Giannis or Harden is a better play. I'm saying for leverage, if you guys want to throw those guys into GPPs, by all means, feel free to do that. But Doncic should dominate tonight at 3? So yeah, that's just crazy of a price tag.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and start answering questions. We have about 8 minutes left, so I think that's perfect.
Yeah, because I want to get off at 6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, so tonight is definitely crazy. So just take a deep breath. A lot of injury news coming out because you remember games are only being played from 7 to 8:30 tonight. So I feel like everything's kind of just crammed together, which is good and bad. It's good because we'll probably get all the injury news out prior to lock. Hopefully we just get that Seth Curry news. I think that's all we're really pending, right?
Yeah.
Seth Curry, Cam Reddish is doubtful. Simon's got ruled up to probable. We got the Aaron Gordon news. Oladipo's out. We got the Zach LaVine being out. Yeah, so most of the injury news is out. It's kind of just Seth Curry remaining. So that's always good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, or it'll be fun to actually go to sleep at a normal time for both of us.
Oh God, I know.
All right. I saw Sano put a question up here, and he asked it once or twice before that, so I'm going to get to that. Thoughts on Conley? If he's starting Conley, like I said, it's night and day when he's starting. A lot better of an option. Definitely will go lower owned than what he was before. I think he was a bit on the chalkier side before, but now he's showing at 18% ownership in a fantastic matchup against Cleveland. Again, only if he's starting. I think they don't have the starting lineup for them yet. Mike Conley is definitely a ceiling guy when he's starting. They don't have the starting lineup, but he should. They have Royce O'Neal, actually, right now. If he's not starting, I'm off of him. If he is, I'm definitely going to be exposed to Mike Conley.
Guys, I just want to say one thing real quick. 997 subs, 3 away. If you're not currently subscribed to us, please give us a sub. We've almost hit our goal of 1,000. Love you guys. Matt, let's bang on some of these questions.
Yeah.
Warren or Ross for GPPs? I think we both know that answer.
Yeah, it's going to be Ross just because of that ownership, too, and he's in a very good spot.
Terrence Ross.
Lyles or Kepler? Kleber, I'm assuming.
No, as in, like, I'm saying he definitely meant Kleber.
Yeah, Kleber.
That's tough.
I would say Kleber's safer, just because Lyles, we never know with his minutes.
Yeah, I say Lyles, okay. But I understand what you're saying because you're right with Pop and the minutes. But I just think they need the size tonight against Indiana.
If you can't see my frustration with the Spurs guys, then I mean, this is coming from a Spurs fan. I just can't stand playing these guys.
98 subs, 2 more.
There we go, guys. Thank you so much. I think my notification actually turned off. I don't know why it does that. It's like when it gets overloaded, it turns off. So thanks for overloading it, guys.
Brooks gonna shoot like 30 shots tonight. I definitely like that. Denzel Valentine or Shaq Harrison cash viable. I would go Valentine just because he's starting. I want to wait and see what his ownership goes to, but I definitely have interest in him since he's starting at 3K. Kind of opens up a little bit of flexibility for me in the lineup that I'm currently conducting. So you could also just pay up the extra 300 and get a guy like Jeff Teague that, they don't have Bembry, they don't have Reddish, so could see some minutes in an up-paced game. Well, not an up-paced game, but just a very high over-under for Atlanta.
Somebody said I'm super heavy on T. Ross GPP. So the one thing I'll say about very, 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 very low owned guys in GPPs, you don't want to be overly aggressive. Again, like you don't want to have 100% Terrence Ross tonight. You probably at the highest I'll go is like 50. Okay, I mean unless you're going crazy.
You could go 100.
You could unless you're TJ. But I recommend at least 20%. Overweight on somebody to take advantage because again there's rake which takes about 10 to 15% of your funds right away anyway, so that's why I suggest at least 20%.
Good at least point 20. About sorry, go ahead.
At least 20 and not probably over 50 is what I usually recommend.
I was going to say Willie Cauley-Stein is back tonight too playing. He's on a minute restriction, so that'll definitely eat away a little bit at Kleber's minutes, I would think. So
yeah,
just tidbit. Driving home. Is Gordon out? Please don't text and drive, Chris. But yeah, out. Terrence Ross is not starting. He's coming off the bench. But get off your phone. Vooch or Val? Both. Brooks or Ross GPP? I'm going Ross.
Ross starting. He never is starting. I don't think he's going to be starting again tonight.
Right.
But he gets heavy minutes.
What else do we have? Super heavy on Valentine or Harrison GPP. I'd go Valentine because he's starting. Russ over Luka for GPPs. I mean, you can.
Pronounce my name correctly and I'll Venmo you guys $20. Do you see that comment?
No, what is it?
I'm not going to butcher it. You can go take a shot.
Oh, Lord. All right, I'll take a stab at that. Hyung Hamdang?
Hamdang? I thought it was Famdang.
Famdang? Could be that. I thought the P was silent. Eric Gordon for cash. No, not tonight. Sato or White for GPP. Kobe White.
Yes.
I don't care about the ownership. Hesitant on Lyles because it's the Spurs. Yeah, you can avoid Lyles tonight for cash. Colin Sexton or Kobe White. Matt, Kobe White.
Kobe White. Yep.
Oh, he laughed. Did we get it? Did I get it? Do you owe me $20?
$20.
You might owe me $20. Herter and Hunter for value for Atlanta. I definitely don't hate it. All right,
Vooch or Val? That's the question. Did you already answer that?
Yeah, I said both.
Okay.
Ross or Herter? Ross. Cash.
Ooh, I would say the higher over under probably, which is going to be with Herder, but I still am not high on him.
That's tough. I really like Ross.
TJ's volleyball team over Chicago Bulls starting 5.
I got volleyball tomorrow, guys. 2 games.
Gay or Porter? Gay. I think Gay is the most obvious play on the slate, at least from my perspective.
What else you guys got? That Ross or Herder, man,
that
that question's tough because neither of them are going to be high owned. So, oh man, I'm not even gonna read what my new fan just said. Coon. I'm gonna call him Coon. All right, Coon. Thank you, man. I'll send you my Venmo.
Starting my single entry GPP with Luka, Kobe White, Rudy Gay, Vooch, Turner. I like that starting point so far. I think Turner's going to go underweight. He should be a nice pivot. I'm not saying he's going to be a reasonable pivot, but he could end up paying off. I think Turner's in a great spot as well tonight. I think he's as good of a play, at least according to our sheet, as Vooch and Val, for sure.
Gay over Lyles, yes.
Yeah, and Turner's percentage ownership hasn't moved yet. So, guys, I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes to kind of go over percentage ownership because we know that changes, and I see that Indiana's hasn't changed. That's usually what I come back and do, and I'll give you my last thoughts on the slate. I think TJ will come back, will you? Or no?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So
locks and cash, real quick. I just want to say that because Jericho just asked. It's going to be Joe Val. It's going to be Vooch, Kobe White, Larry Nance, and then I want to and Rudy Gay. I think I'll give you 5, and then I really like Luka as the spend up too. So
yeah, I can agree with those. Those are very obvious plays on tonight's slate. Joe Val and Vooch for GPP and cash. I will say this: if you're gonna play GPPs, maybe not both of them if you want leverage, but one or the other. I mean, you're gonna have to differentiate yourself somewhere else, like somebody like Ross, if you're gonna go those two in GPP. But like I said, if you want to go Turner, I think Turner's a nice pivot off one of those two. I would play the more obvious one just because of minutes is going to be Vooch. But, I mean, Val's in such a good spot. I can't even say that with confidence. So, again, both of them are just such good plays tonight. And that's 6:30, TJ.
Yeah, Harkless or Ennis, GPP, Ennis.
Yes, I agree with that.
Warren or Turner, DK Showdown. Quick, Matt, last question.
Warren or Turner? Definitely Turner. I think Turner's the best play on that team. All right, I will be back, guys, and so will TJ. So we'll talk to you in just a moment. If I don't come back and it's not 1,000, I'm ending the stream. That's what I'm saying. I'm not answering any more questions. All right.
1,000 subscribers.
We'll be back.
anxiety. Don't know what's coming next, but ladies and gentlemen, we are all currently part of the same team. We're part of the same world. We are all about a very difficult subject. Is there anyone here that never gets anxiety? Don't know what's coming next, but ladies and gentlemen, we are all currently part of the same team. We're part of the same world. We are all
Things just got interesting, guys. At least for GPPs, I think with Dallas, regardless of the Seth Curry news, it shouldn't be extreme chalk, but we're still looking at it. I know TJ is still going hard at his cash lineup. If you can't see him, he's right up there. That's his stressed face right there. See that? Oh, by the way, guys, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Obviously, we have a giveaway for you guys on Friday. We might even do another one. I don't know yet, but we can't thank you guys enough. I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about that right now. You want to hear me talk about the slate, so let's do that. With Dallas, so Dallas with Seth Curry just got ruled out. I'm going to go ahead and compute that on the screen here. I think TJ is going to do the same. You're muted. Yeah, so we could.
You're lucky I was muted.
Okay.
Shoot. So for cash, like I really want to wait because the sample size is just screaming JJ Barea.
Yeah. Well, what's his minutes?
Yeah, I mean they haven't updated it. So if JJ Barea does start with Luka, which I would assume he doesn't, looks like they're going to start Courtney Lee is what they're showing right now. I need to see JJ Barea's minutes. 17. He got bumped up nothing. So disrespectful, man.
Is the cash line about to be posted? Yes, guys, be patient. We are getting to it. We want to give you the best product available. So, obviously, we're going to post at the very last second if we have to give you guys an edge. If you guys don't know how to change all your lineups at the same time, there's a
if you guys
lineup
don't know how
tab.
to do that, then it's pretty crazy. You gotta know how to do that.
Yeah, no roast. Just learn how to do it, and then come back.
Courtney Lee's sample size is so minimal.
Yeah, we'll get to your questions in a second. I can see him out of the corner of my eye just being spammed. We're probably having the same questions as you guys are right now, so just hold tight.
Yeah, I don't think the Seth news really shakes up anything too crazy in terms of cash. It's mostly just.
Okay, but Doncic has a 1.98 fantasy point per minute output without Seth, so he just got even better.
Pretty crazy to think that he can get better, eh?
Yeah.
Dude, your boy is starting. I'm off Lyles.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. Not him starting, just something crazy.
Oh, they'll go Eubanks and Lyles, actually. Lyles will play the 4 now that I think about it, so yeah.
Yeah, Rudy Gay was coming off the bench regardless. I don't think he was going to start.
No.
So that doesn't change my stance on Rudy Gay for everybody who's going to ask that question. All right, let me refresh ownership. I don't think that's going to change. What I do think is going to change a lot more is Doncic. Doncic's ownership is going to go up even more. He's only showing 20%, which is insane in cash.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
You remember what we talked about for cash?
Yes.
I'm doing the opposite.
Got it.
Makes more sense.
Where's Doncic in ownership?
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Dude, he's showing 20%, guys. 1.98 fantasy points per minute.
I haven't even had time to do. Oh, what the heck just happened?
I wouldn't freak out about Eubanks starting unless you're playing GPPs. You can start him. I mean, he's at 3K. He should hit value. As I honestly, guys, I can tell you, I've probably seen him once in my life. So I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. He's not that impressive of a player from what I've seen. Rudy Gay is gonna be your lock from that game. DeMar DeRozan's still in the picture for cash, but for for Dallas. I do like Finney Smith at his percentage ownership. I like Kleber at 4%. Doncic is your auto lock. I mean, we're still awaiting Barea's minutes because he actually shows fantastic on our sheet just because he's such a good fantasy point per minute player. But if he gets under 20 minutes, I'm probably not going to be that high on him.
Yeah, I think they updated his minutes, so I don't think he's going to play anything too significant, unfortunately. But like for GPP, he's a 157 fantasy point per minute player with all those injuries. I mean, and that's in 70 minutes, so that's a decently healthy sample size.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll definitely get a bump in minutes, but nothing too crazy.
Kevin Love for GPPs, he's going to still be low owned. He's going to get overlooked for sure. Yeah, Kevin Love's not a bad GPP option. Sorry guys, I'm freaking out internally because I need to get these lineups adjusted based on percentage. So just 1 second here.
I'll be able to answer questions. I didn't really have time to do GPPs tonight just because everything was crazy. So
Okay, if you could take that over for me real quick.
Yep, you just gotta give me 2 segundos, mas, por favor.
Sure.
Guys, just go with your gut tonight, you know? Like, don't listen to us. Just play your plays. Like Trae Young over Luka, like, yeah, do it.
I think for a pay-up option, there's not been a more obvious play than Luka, at least his fantasy point per minute output for a long time. But you never know. He could get in foul trouble. He could, honestly, even if he gets in foul trouble, he still should be a great play. Honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about that.
Sorry, guys, just focusing on my own stuff real quick.
Matt's being selfish.
I'm being selfish, but when you have $100+ on the line, you gotta at least be selfish somewhat here.
Oh yeah, dude, I have $1 million on the line. Okay, so
Nice. You know what's sickening? There's actually some people that they don't throw that much, but they throw a good amount to where they can't say they almost throw that amount on slates. I've seen 500,000 before, which is I don't know how you do that.
well, yeah, you play with me every day, so you know that's how much I throw.
For sure.
Imagine putting that much money down. All right, I'll be able to answer
Well,
questions.
they're millionaires, obviously, so they probably don't care at that point.
They're what?
Millionaires.
I thought you said homeowners. I was like, I'd
They're
be a little
homeowners.
concerned.
They are homeowners for sure.
I'd be a little concerned still if I was a homeowner. And Matt, what's a good guard GPP play? Who am I gonna go with? You know what? I'm gonna go with Valentine as a GPP just because he's.
You said guard?
Yeah, shooting guard. Sorry,
Shooting guard GPP, Eric Gordon still showing at 1%, and they're in the high over under.
I got Valentine, and then oh wow, that's terrible.
Sorry guys, 1 second here. I just need to update my lineups because I realized I was mashing the field in Doncic, and that's not the move.
All right, I'm not playing GPPs unfortunately. Opinion on Herder? More of a GPP play for me. Is Cash Lineup posted? Yeah, I just posted it. Sorry. I really like Terrence Ross in GPPs. Kevin Love for GPPs, yeah. Lyles is a no. No, Lyles is playing. He'll play at the 4. Oladipo out, yes. Sabonis, Bam, Randall for GPP if you had to pick one. I go Randall. I like Sabonis second, and then Bam third. Lyles or Kleber? I go Lyles. Yeah, I think I like Kevin Love at his price pool, and he rates really well on our sheet, but in terms of cash, I don't think he's going to carry the ownership, and it is a tough matchup against Gobert, so it could bite you in the butt. I'm going to keep making dollar GPPs by hand while Porter Jr. I like him. I mean, those Cavs have a very tight rotation tonight, so where's the lineup posted? On our website. You have to be a paying member to see it, unfortunately. So if you don't have a paying membership, then you can't see it. Look at Matt with his calculator out. I'm so proud of him. I taught Matt how to do math. He's
Okay.
very good. TJ Warren, good cash play. Not tonight. Not for cash. Where's that $1 that $1 GPP? Here it is. Wait. Hello. Where are my? Oh, you know what I just realized? I am going JJ Barea in a GPP because I mean, Rudy Gay. Hey, Rudy Gay. Kobe White, that's who I was missing in that other GPP.
All right, I'm good now. You guys can stop looking at me freaking out. Let's go ahead and answer some last-minute questions. Doncic, Young, Brooks, DeRozan, Porter, Gay, Kleber, Nance, Valanciunas, FanDuel, Cash. I don't know about FanDuel's pricing, but I know those plays are fantastic for DraftKings, so I like it. I'm off of entering John Collins. John Collins is still not a bad play for GPPs. John Collins is obviously in a pace-up spot, 8.9, slightly overpriced, but again, that is a crazy over-under, so I do like him for GPPs. I actually have a little bit more exposure than I should to John Collins and these Hawks in general, because I said my stance was going to be either aggressive or not aggressive enough on Atlanta, and it ends up being aggressive. So there you guys go. A little bit insight to my brain.
Aggressive. B-E, aggressive.
Should I go Valentine and Elfrid Payton or Kobe White and George Hill? Ooh. For cash, I would say...
Neither.
Yeah, I don't like those combos, man. Kobe White and Valentine are good options, but those two combos that you gave us, I don't really like those guys. SF cash play. I know DeRozan's still a safe option for small forward.
DeRozan.
Rudy Gay.
Yep. And Porter as a third.
Yeah. FanDuel lineup: Fultz, Doncic, DeRozan, Mitchell, Warren, Porter, Sabonis, Love, Eubanks. Mitchell's going to be very low owned. I'm assuming Oh, you said GPP. My bad. Yeah, not bad. Utah's going to get overlooked in general. I don't know how FanDuel's percentage ownership looks, but I know a lot of those guys are going to be low owned, so take a better look at your ownership. Try to get some more cash plays in there, or safer plays at least. What's your exposure on Love? Good question. Let me check. I think I was matched on him. I think I like Nance a lot more. Kevin Love. Oh, hold on. I need to go to an updated one. Yeah, the lowest guy's going to be Kevin Love, but he's still a great option. I'm very high on Nance, and I'm also high on Kevin Porter. But they're all great options.
6.2 Utah, that's tough. I would go... I'd go Sexton or Fab Young. That's a tough spot, though. Matt, you know what we got to do? We got to get a...
I like Porter Jr. What's up?
We got to get a horn that goes like... when time's up, when it hits 7 o'clock.
Do you know what? I actually can set that. I can set down a timer and stuff for us.
Doubt it.
I can, but okay.
All right, guys. What else? We got about 30 seconds. 30 seconds here.
Yeah, I think Kevin Porter's in a good spot, guys. 4.9 is pretty cheap for him in general, and again, with all these injuries, somebody has to step up. It should be him. Just started. Awesome community. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Guys, we hit 1,000. Thank you so much.
Is Lyle still good? Yeah. Yep. Should see the minutes. RJ Barrett sleeper. I like it.
Lyles is definitely riskier, but again, should put his ownership down lower, which I like him more for GPPs.
I think you're going to be surprised. I think he's going to carry a decent amount of ownership.
You think?
Nah.
I think it's going to go off to Eubanks. He'll probably play about 4 minutes and then come immediately out. That's just how it happens. It is officially 7 o'clock, guys. Unless you're asking us the last-minute pivots, we will be getting off here pretty shortly. Tripping if you don't take Love tonight. I mean, yeah, he's a good play. But again, there's a lot of good plays tonight, so...
All right, time to see what Kevin Porter's ownership is in cash, because I faded him, so I went with Hunter.
You're hating my Kevin Porter love, then?
What?
You're hating my Kevin Porter love.
No, I liked him. I told you that, but it was him or Hunter, because I went with Aaron Holiday.
Yeah, Rudy Gay's still in a good spot. I think his percentage ownership went down because, honestly, I don't know why. Maybe they're expecting him to be in the starting lineup. I have no idea. It's down to 31 now. Yeah. Oh, boy. I stacked Orlando in this GPP. So, yeah, I mean, all of Dallas will have lower than what's expected for ownership. Like, Finney Smith is sitting here at 16%. Again, 4.3 is very intriguing for him. Stepping right into Porzingis' role should carry a little bit more usage. Kleber, 4% still. Again, all these Orlando guys are carrying very low ownership. And then the Hawks. I think the Hawks are surprising. Again, we didn't really know what to do with them. There's not that much that shows on our sheet, but we do know some of these guys are going to have to step it up. Again, if they don't get to 121, it's going to ruin my night. Hopefully they go over it. So against Memphis, they should have a very, very high tempo game.
You want to hear these ownerships in cash for some of these guys?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's crazy, man. Vooch, what do you think Vooch is?
85.
71. Larry Nance.
Ooh, he's going to be high. I think he's going to be 75.
78. All right.
I like this game.
Kevin Porter.
Keep it going.
This is the guy that's going to make or break me. Kevin Porter.
45.
51.
Look at this. Pretty close, guys. Come on.
The accuracy. All right, so.
Oh, you're not gonna keep going? You don't have any more?
What's
Kevin Love? Do you have Kevin Love?
Well, I went to Chipotle's lineup just to see what he had.
Yeah,
so
that's
he
always
has
a
Kevin
gauge.
Porter, but McLovin doesn't. So.
Okay. They must hate each other.
I'm on Team McLovin tonight.
Oh, Kevin Porter Jr. 35% GPP. That's scary. I think I'm underweight on him in that sense.
All right, Matt. What's Covington?
Covington. And cash?
Yeah.
3.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Julius Randle.
Ooh. 18.
No, 7.
Oh, really?
This is the $25 single entry.
Oh, okay. So the smart people. Well, that's funny because I'm overweight on Randall, so that's cool.
What's McCollum?
Ooh, that's tough. 24.
22. 23, actually.
I should just make projections at this point, TJ. We both should. We're both really
What's
good at it.
Ennis? Ennis was the guy that I was on, remember. What was Ennis?
Ooh, Ennis. That's tough. I'm going to say 9.
No, too high.
Really? It's lower. 4.
487.
Yikes. For you guys still watching, I mean, come on. Like, you guys have to give me some props.
What else could we talk about for people still watching? What else do you guys want to hear or know or see?
Yeah, late night pivots. You guys want us to dance? You guys want us to do push-ups again? What do you want? No, we're going to get off here in about 2 minutes because I have to eat because I have been eating nothing all day. Again, video at 10 o'clock will be posted if you guys are interested in what our possible giveaway is for Friday. All right, so that video will be posted, our first pack opening. Again, if you guys appreciate that, if you guys enjoy that, like, subscribe. Again, for anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, I don't know why you haven't. Did not expect to get to 1,000, TJ, today. We were sitting about 20 to 30 out before today, so that's definitely awesome. And it's my nemesis. Very nice. Do a backflip. All right, TJ, do a backflip because I can't.
I cannot do a backflip.
Oh, it's showing the 1,000 subscribers here on our video. That's awesome. All right, GPP line: Doncic, Kobe White, Rudy Gay. Did I redo this? Nance, Val, Conley, Kevin Love, Miles Turner. I like that. So no. I took Love out of all my lineups. I hope you didn't do that because I said I was underweight on him.
Yeah, I hope you didn't do that too because Matt said he was underweight on him.
Top 3 core plays to build around. That's a bit late to ask that. Val, Vooch, and Rudy Gay.
2 of them started, unfortunately.
Yeah. Ross 12%. Okay.
Being Vooch and Nance. Those were 2 guys that you wanted to build around.
Tonight will be over quick.
What about Kobe White not starting? I mean, I wouldn't be worried about him starting or not.
No, he's been balling out. They're going to give him plenty of minutes.
He'll play 32 minutes regardless, so I wouldn't be scared about that.
You guys are going to surpass Awesemo within a year. That's the goal. Although it's not really the goal. I think our goal is going to be the second I see over 500 live viewers, it'll start to hit me. Then I'll truly think that high. But we know those guys obviously have it together. We're just getting started, so hopefully we can.
Got you, Tyrone. I hope you picked right, man. Imagine if we surpassed Awesemo within a year.
Imagine? What do you mean imagine? When we do, we're gonna do another huge giveaway, guys.
Boy.
Oh boy, I have to win $1 million before I can do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I'm starving. I'm gonna start getting hangry, and you guys don't want to see that. Hangry mixed with bad DFS plays. So we'll see.
I know, right? I'm gonna be freaking out every time Kevin Porter hits a bucket. Bash my head off the wall.
Not good.
It was Kevin Porter or DeAndre Hunter, man, and I just feel like
Aaron Holiday's starting.
What?
Aaron Holiday's starting, but I think we knew that.
Well, I have Aaron. See, guys, the thing is with cash is like it's very easy to determine 5 to 6 to even 7 guy core, and it's always those last 2 guys where it's like makes you want to pull your eyes out. Like tonight, it was either DeAndre Hunter and Aaron Holiday, which I went with, or like Dylan Brooks and James Ennis, which James Ennis rated out really well on our sheet, and I really like Dylan Brooks, but I really like Aaron Holiday now that he's starting. He rated out really well on our sheet, and I like DeAndre Hunter in the minute, so I'm hoping that I left 300 on the table. Could have went with Kevin Porter at 4,900 because Hunter is 5,000. But I'm taking the over/under. I like DeAndre Hunter's upside in that matchup against Memphis. He's going to see crazy minutes. So we're all DeAndre Hunter fans tonight.
Yeah, no, I actually am overexposed to him a lot. I have 25% of him as opposed to 7. So
yeah, what are you guys eating tonight?
I'll eat anything at
Mac
this
and
point.
barbecue chicken wings. Oh, that sounds amazing.
You are?
No, somebody in the chat just said that. Tim is. Brooks, I know. He had a very high usage rate, I know, but it was more so getting Aaron Holiday, I think, for me, opposed to not taking Dylan Brooks. It wasn't like Dylan Brooks is going to carry ownership in cash, so it wasn't like I was like, oh man, I don't want Dylan Brooks. It was more so I kind of wanted to start Aaron Holiday.
I'll tell you guys my stance is now the slate locked. I'm very overweight on the Hawks. I'm overweight on Houston, the Pacers. Those are my hard stances, and a couple of these Dallas guys.
Mac and cheese, lasagna, nice. My girlfriend's so I'm probably gonna have cereal.
Have some Peyton. Done.
What should I eat?
Oh wait, this isn't even the right. I'm not even looking at the right freaking build. I just lied to you guys. I am overweight on the Hawks and Houston. I have about 45% Doncic as opposed to 25% on the field. So mix in with some Westbrook and some Giannis. All right, TJ, I'm gonna have to go. I'm getting hangry. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, appreciate all the support. We will talk to you tomorrow, bright and early.
I go volleyball.
I will talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
I'll be here for the first half.
All right. All right, guys. Peace out.